And here we go. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome on in, y'all. What's everybody doing? How is everybody? Nice to see everybody here. Welcome to Tiki Time. Okay, we are out at the Tiki Bar. We are out at the Tiki Bar. We need more Tiki content, yes. Now that we've gotten out from underneath from softball about a week and a half ago or so, we are hopefully freeing up some more time. What is happening? Is everybody doing all right today? I hope so. We have actually today's Tiki Time. We've got a foreign beer we're going to try. We do have a foreign beer we are going to try. I'm excited for it. I don't know about anybody else. Day drink after a day of adulting. It has been a long few weeks, but we had a good 4th of July. So happy 4th of July, everybody! I'm hoping that some of you were able to catch our stream a little bit earlier over on the Fat Turtle Racing channel, which is starting to hang on one second. Hang on 1 minute. So we getting a very important text message. Whoops. Cancel. Okay. Yeah, so anyways, hopefully y'all caught us. We were doing a little bit of technology testing, and I was getting my feet under me a little bit because I'd hurt my back. Was just I tweaked a muscle, really it's a glute muscle that sits just about underneath the hip bone, and thankfully my sister was here from Pennsylvania, who was a massage therapist, and she worked me over a couple of days and kind of straightened me out. And today I felt good, so I went for a walk. I actually did just a little over 3 miles. It was great. It took me just under an hour. I was just under an hour. I was at like 57 minutes or whatever it was. So, and I did like 3.2 miles. So it's great. So yeah. But now, as promised, it's a little bit of Tiki Time. Hello, Suzanne. I've been having a Disney day drinking day. Yes, Suzanne, yes. Those are my people. That's what I'm talking about. Let's stop all this nonsense of talking of being healthy and fit, and let's get to the drinking. Actually, speaking of, let's get ourselves a beer here. So we are, for those of you that are new here, we are out at the Tiki Bar. And woo, look at all that. All right. Whew, South Florida. It feels like I'm already there, Pierce. I'll tell you what. I am melting up here. It is so dang hot. I don't even know what to tell you how hot it is. It is so damn hot, man. You know what? So we have 2 beers we're going to try tonight. Day drinking. As long as you're day drinking. That's all that really counts. Oh. All right. So Florida is accurate. Um, but so last week, a local place by the name of Mucky's, where I get all of the kegs for that thing. Maybe like 2 weeks ago now or so, they got this beer in, and it's from Portugal. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, maybe next time I'm in there, I'll try some. But then they advertised that they had kegs of it. I would have gotten a keg of this because I tried a little first, and I was like, oh, I'll get a keg of it. But the kegs are a little bit of a weird shape. So they do hold like the same amount as a regular 6 barrel, but their kegs are a little shorter, so it makes them a little more round. And that would mean I couldn't fit all 3 kegs in my kegerator. So I got a 6-pack instead. So this is a Super Bock, and I got the mini pack because I just thought they were fun. But this is a Super Bock. Well, where are we here? Here we go. So we have a Super Bock here. This is from Portugal. It is imported to the U.S. So it comes. Let's see if I can find where it is from. So they've been around since 1927. This is a mini bottle. This is only 6.8 ounces. It's not a super strong box. So sometimes box can be really, really strong. It's only 5.2%. So it's like having a Bud Light. It's not terrible. It is super drinkable. I will tell you, it is refreshing. It is crisp. And let's see, there's a lot of Portuguese writing on this. A lot. Super Bock. Usually they have exactly where it came from, but it is brewed by the Super Bock Group. Some place in Portugal that Lea do Boyd, Portugal. I don't know where that is. Anywho, it is a pretty tasty beer here, and they have to the mouse fitting some. Yes, all right. They have a fun little way to open the beer. So this is a press on top, so it's not a twist off. But instead of needing a bottle opener, they have one built in, as you can all see. So you just lift this up and you pull back, just like this. And this what's under the cap, and then you keep pulling and pop. There it is. So it's a fun little way to open. It's actually an ingenious idea, but it is definitely a fun way to open your bottle of beer. So here it is, Super Bock, light, refreshing. Cheers! Thank you for being here for Tiki Time. Oh, and there's Mrs. Squatch. Hello, Mrs. Squatch. It is a fun top to open. And this is good. So it's refreshing, it's crisp. It does have a malty flavor to it, but it's a very light malty flavor. I don't know if you can all see how clear that is. Like, you can see my finger going behind it. So I often find Bocks are not always this clear, and the ones that are, usually they don't have much flavor to them. This is, I will say, I think maybe just a little watery. But all things considered, I would put it in the realm of like a Bud Light, but it has a Bock feel. It doesn't have that lager feel. It's really good. It is good. I don't know. I don't know if it'd be my go-to as a lighter beer, but if you're looking for a lighter beer that's not your standard run-of-the-mill, Mick Ultra or something like that, look for Super Bock in your local stores. Comes right from Portugal. And it's not bad. And you can get the mini bottles like I have here. So, if you're like, I'm not really sure, you can pick up a 6-pack. I think the 6-pack up here cost me $7 for the mini bottles. So you can get it in half keg, you can get it in regular size bottles too. Dallas, what is happening? Hello, folks. Hello. Nice to see everybody in here. I don't know, for those of you just joining me, if you caught me out in my walk before, but I'm glad I did it before than now, because I came home and man, I was awful sweaty after that 3 miles, but it is swampy. It is Florichusetts right here. Masada. I don't know what you want to call it. It is like Florida. So I think Mrs. Squatch had told me right before I came out here, the ambient temperature is like 88, but the humidity's in the 60s, and we have a feel of like 90 something right now. Thankfully, the sun's going down. So beach modding is not only allowed, it's encouraged, and hopefully you have some cold, refreshing beverages to help cool you off when you're on the hot, sunny beach. And don't forget, kids, life's a beach. Bottoms up. And in a bit of, Tiki Time news, so my sister has been visiting from Pennsylvania. It was an awesome couple of days that I got to spend with her and my brother-in-law. And my brother-in-law is the man of the people here. He likes to just sit down and chill with some really good drinks. And I did some calculations, and over the course of Thursday and Friday, I calculated in the 7-ish or so hours we were out here. So we had 7 hours. We were here, about 6.5 one day, and then another, 5 or 6 the day before. So we're probably looking at, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours maybe over the course of a couple of days. We spent a lot of time sitting out here at the Tiki Bar and drinking beers, but over the course of basically 2 evenings, we plowed through 5+ gallons of beer between the two of us. So it was, it was a long couple of days, but it was a lot of fun, and we drank. It was awesome. We cleared out a 6 barrel, and then part of a second 6 barrel. And then when we ran out of Bud Light, when that 6 barrel kicked, we actually walked next door and plowed through half a 30 rack and almost a whole 12-pack of Sam Summer. So we were one with the Tiki people, you could say, for the holiday weekend. Just water, no alcohol. It's no excuse, Dallas. Vodka's clear. Vodka can replace the water in your water bottle. They'll never know the difference. Or you get a really big Stanley, like 4 ice cubes, half of it vodka, 3/4 vodka, and then a splash of fruit punch in there. That'll set you straight. What beach are we at? That's what I want to know. Where are we doing our day drinking at, people? And for those of you that are American and celebrate the 4th of July, what did you all do for the 4th of July? Did you see fireworks? Did you just kind of chill out at home, watch something on TV? We were here. We were at home. It was great. It was it was really nice weather for the most part. I mean, it rained a tiny bit, but it wasn't really hot until like Friday afternoon. But Thursday was perfect. It was a very nice 4th of July up here. You can roll out of your bed onto the beach. If I rolled onto any beach, somebody would call Greenpeace and they would try to throw me back into the water and lead me out to sea. Me and the beach do not get along. When I lay down, people think they're at the Pacific and they're on the little island with all the seals, or down Cape Cod. Like, don't go in the water. The walruses are here. Just speaking the truth. Although I will say, so, I'd done the whole diet and really, really good fitness thing at the beginning of the year, and it really helped me in my running. In like 3 days, I slapped on 8 pounds with all the not diet food and all the drink. And it was like all the water retention. Today I go out for my walk and I lose like 2.5 to 3 pounds of it. It was incredible. Oh, Suzanne chilled at home. Nice. Husband worked. Yep. Fireworks blowing up the neighborhood at night. Yeah, it sounded like we were in a war zone here. It was like downtown Baghdad. Ooh, excuse me. Pierce, you worked. Oh, yeah. That's the producer life. Yep. Yeah, it was, we were rocking and rolling, man. The neighborhood was alive for quite a while. It did, I will say, this year's been better than a lot of other years. So, there were fireworks around, and they were going off till maybe around about 10 o'clock, 10:30, and then they just kind of died off. It wasn't terrible. You could hear some in the distance, like far, far off, but yeah, Pierce, I'm sure it does. Stephanie went for a run. What are we at? We're on Sunday. So she must have went out for a run on Saturday morning, or maybe it was this morning, but her route took her by where some of the fireworks were going off, and she said for like 3 or 4 houses straight, right in the middle of the road, you could just see all the leftover tube caps from the mortars that they were lighting off. But they had, I will give, I know where she was, and those people I'll give credit because they live, they are, I would say, about a mile from here. So, and it's probably even less if you were to do a straight line and not go by the street. And we were like, wow, listen to them people go the other night. So, I used to love I still do. I love fireworks. But I used to like them, when I was younger and a little more naive. I used to like them in the, in the neighborhood or whatever, because you didn't have to go anywhere. And it was really cool. Oh, look, so-and-so's house is doing it, whatever. But since I've become a homeowner, and with my years of experience on the fire department, I have gotten to maybe not like them so much around people's homes, especially when they're in the middle of a neighborhood with a lot of tight dwellings next to each other. I think it's a recipe for disaster. Give me a really big yard behind somebody's house or a field at the end of a road or something, and the neighborhood gathers, and there are no homes in the way of where the fallout's going to be, then we're good to go. But some people, man, they light them off like 6 feet from a house, and you're like, oh, bro, what are you doing? You're going to put somebody to work. And like me, my house is well over 200 years old, so I get real nervous with just the thought of any little heat, even the heat in the attic this time of year. I'm like, oh, makes me cringe when I think about it. And now we don't have any more holidays till September, right? I mean, there's none in August. There's none for the rest of July. Although, if you want to consider my next Disney trip a holiday, that may be appropriate. And we'll be down in the park streaming. Woohoo! We will get down there on August 18th. We get down and in. And we should be in the parks Monday through Thursday that week. And the Sunday night, hopefully, JetBlue really kind of messed up my my flights, because even though we are, like a month and change away, they sent me an email today saying that my flight times got changed, which wouldn't be a problem if they would get bumped up, but they actually pushed them back. So instead of landing at like 4:30, 4:45, they've now got me landing at like 6:45 at night, which is not good for me. We have a plan of the first night we're there, we don't check in to Disney until Monday, and we're staying at the Riviera. So we wanted to, I'll give you guys an update what we're doing. So we wanted to go on the Sunday night. We're going to stay at the Wyndham at the Disney Springs. We love staying there, and it's like right there, right? You walk over this little walking bridge. I mean, if you take your time, it's a 5-minute walk. So you go over the walking bridge, you're at Disney Springs. We wanted to go over there, and I want to see the drone show. So with us landing at 6:45, by the time we get our luggage off the carousel and we get our ride from Uber Steve Orlando, if you don't know who he is, go find him on TikTok. Great ride service. He has nothing to do with Uber anymore, but great ride service from him. By the time we get over to there, I'm figuring it's going to be like 8:30, and that's just, I didn't want to drop my bags and run out the door, and that's kind of late because we wanted to catch, hopefully, the first drone show. So I think I'm going to get on the phone with JetBlue, since the email just came through like 2 hours ago. I'm going to get on the phone with JetBlue tomorrow and try to demand that what they're doing is not correct, and it's really putting a hamper on all of my plans and costing me money now. Please move me without no extra points for free, because I am a Mosaic member, to a flight that leaves earlier. And I think the earlier one that I would be open to would be the 9:45 out of Boston. Hopefully they can keep us with our upgraded seats and stuff. But yes, hello Christine Machado. That drone show, I've seen snippets of it, like bits and pieces, and it looks incredible. It really does. And I have some hope that it's only going to get better, because the drone show that they're doing in Tokyo right now, they are expanding. So they have somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,100 drones they use, 1,500, and they're expanding it to almost somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 drones that they're going to use as a show for part of their 40th anniversary. So I am, fingers crossed. We seem to be lagging behind some of those Asian Disney lands, and hopefully we pick up on the vibe here in the American Disney parks, and we bring more of that here. Hello, Cindy. What's happening? Good to see you all here. That was a good balk. That was a good balk. So now, let's do this. Whew, there's a fly, big old horse fly. So now we are going to work on a citrusy Sam Adams. It's a new Sam Adams citrusy hazy pale ale. This one is called Pool Party. And if you can't be on the beach like Dallas, pool party is probably the next best thing. It is 5.5% by volume. It is, let's see what the back says here. It is a hazy golden ale that features splashes of tropical notes, medium hoppiness, and a smooth, refreshing finish that says, "Come on in, the beer's fine." That, my friends, is my best saying. You had an amazing drone show there in Austin. Oh, for the Longhorns. Oh, and Pitbull played. Hey, that's really cool. Did he play like? Did they set the drone show? Like that was part of him playing. Was like a drone show built into his show. That's awesome. I love Pitbull. Great musician. Fireball. Of course, that was the main reason that attracted me to listen to him initially. But, ooh. Okay. All right, Sam. All right, Sam. I smell your hops. Oh, yeah. No, he's not. Oh, it was after. That's cool. All right, it is definitely, it has some hoppiness in it. I cannot smell the fruit notes. Definitely smelling the hops. So, cheers. Here's a little new Sam Adams flavor of Pool Party. Ooh, that is definitely a pale ale. Oh, yeah. Yep. That is definitely a hazy pale ale. But it's not. All right. Okay. Hold on. Okay. All right. Hey, you know what? Good job. So, hops, a lot of strong hops is not my thing, but not. You can taste the hops. It's a tiny bit pointy at first, so like they're there, but then it smooths right out and they fade away. Not really. Not tasting much of the citrus, but it is a little bit. Definitely, it has a silky smooth, full like body to it. It is good. I am not sure if I would consider this because it's only like 5.5%, so it's not terribly strong. But I don't know if I would say that this is something that you're gonna do like 6-7 hours of marathon drinking, only because it does have some body to it. So it's a little, over time, it's gonna get heavy. You know what I mean? If you're gonna do a long haul at a party somewhere or on the beach, you definitely want a Michelob, right, Ultra, or a Bud Light, like something that's drinkable. Maybe not as thick, not as heavy. This is heavy, but this would be great to show up with, like, you're only going for a couple hours. 12-ounce can, 6-pack of this stuff, good to go. Or if you're sitting out in a tiki bar, the triple tap kegerator, which we can have a little there too. That will be the last beer of the night when we get to it. We have some beer in the back from Night Shift Brewing. It is called, oh boy, I gotta remember what the name of it is now. I think it was called Evergreen, and it's an American IPA. It's really, really good. Vodka for the long haul. Shining drones. Oh, yeah. There you go. Oh, nice, Pierce. That's great. Get yourself a couple of Lambos while you're up in that piece. I'm definitely bringing my bottle this time since we're going over to Disney Springs. We may also be over there during the day, but definitely we're going to try to get over there that first night on the 18th. We're there. I'm trying to think. So on Monday, our Monday schedule should be, we are starting in Hollywood Studios. We will, there's no festival. We missed the festival, the Food and Wine Festival, by a week. But luckily for you people, I'm back in September. I'll get to September in a little bit. I don't know how that's going to work out when the festival is going on. I'll be at Epcot and Universal that week, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But we'll be over in Epcot a couple of nights. Tuesday, So Tuesday, I think Tuesday we're going to start in Epcot. Wednesday we're going to start in Animal Kingdom. And Thursday we're going to start in the Magic Kingdom. Wednesday night we're doing extra magic hours at Magic Kingdom. So it's open for deluxe resort guests from, I think it's 9 to 11. 9:30 to 11:30 or 12 maybe. So we are going to do that on Wednesday night. Yes, Cindy. That's the spirit. I don't drink a lot, but when I do, I love it. So we're gonna have a good time. We are looking forward to the new Lightning Lane Fast Pass Essential System, Genie Plus system that's coming out. So, they're going to have single and multi-day Lightning Lane. I guess they're rebranding it. I don't know. Basically, it's going back to a similar model of what the old Fast Pass system was when they came into the use of this modern era of digitally getting your Fast Pass, like on your phone and stuff. So you're going to be able to book 7 days ahead. Basically, we can rack and stack 3 rides. You can only buy 2 of the Tier 1 Lightning Lanes a day. So that means, like, I could buy 2 Guardians a day. Stephanie may want to buy 2 Rise of the Resistance. You can mix and match. So we are definitely, looking forward to seeing how that all works and plays out. We are going to have some pool time. And fun fact, we are staying at the Riviera Resort. So I think our plan was on Wednesday to get a little pool time in, which will mean, of course, a little bar time. Because while the ladies are at the pool having fun in the sun, your host with the most, that's me, is going to be having a little fun surfing the mahogany downstairs at Bar Riva. And then if we're feeling it, maybe we will head upstairs to the rooftop at Tavolino's. We're going to hit all the hot spots. I got some new drinks that I think we're going to try on the menu. We may try one day to take another break in the middle of the day and maybe go check out a resort or two. We have been talking about that. So we will definitely be streaming twice a day like we always do. It'll be a couple of short streams each stream. So make sure that you all are subscribed and you got your notifications going, and you may want to reset it. So, hey, Christina G, yes, Max is live. So our friend Max, WDW Max, I think he's live on his second channel he's got, and he's staying at the Grand Floridian. I love that resort. Last I saw him, when I checked in with him just before we started, he was charging his phone, watching the piano player play. I'll tell you what, I think, and I know why they did it, it was to save money, but I think personally that the big band that used to be there on the stage, that big old brassy band, man, that Grand Floridian band was so stinking good. I could sit there for hours and hours and just listen to them play, and go and get a nice glass of bourbon or scotch and come back and just sit at one of those tables and listen to that band play all night. We need at least one Figment ride. If Pierce happens to show up and we go on Figment together, we'll make Pierce sing. I'll make sure he sits right next to me. Sings all the way. So, I had mentioned September. And I only mention this because some things have shifted a little bit. I am going back in September. The point of September is to really not stream. The point of September is just me and some of my guy friends the boys are getting together and we're going back on the road. We did this trip just about a decade ago, like 9 years ago now, 9 to 10 years ago, somewhere in there. We did this trip where actually we're picking up a fifth guy. There were 4 of us. This time there's 5. Where we go down, and it's like 3 to 4 days of just relaxing, and there's a lot of bar hopping and food eating, and we have a great time. It's a lot of laughs. So originally I was not going to stream. Somebody said that it may be fun to stream, and I said, I don't know. That can get hairy. Like there could be stuff on there. So, hey, Mr. Bob Newell, what is up? All right, Christina. So I may stream while we're down there. We'll see. It's going to be a very expensive weekend. I can tell you that much. So when we did this, like I said, nearly a decade ago, we did, let me think. We did 2 days at Disney. 2 days at Disney and a day at Universal. And back then with just 4 of us, and now this is a decade ago. So think back like 10 years ago how much things were, like how much things cost a decade ago. They were much, much cheaper than they are now. And back then, 4 of us, we were averaging, our average was $1,500 a day in alcohol alone. And we would basically get up in the morning, around about 8 o'clock, meet up for breakfast, have some breakfast, grab a drink at the hotel, and not head over to a park till about 10. Because really, most parks, by the time they open up and you can get a beer and stuff, it's usually about 9:30, 10 in the morning. So we weren't really rushing. And then we were typically back at the hotel we were staying at because we stayed off property. We were back at the hotel, by like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So it was about a 12-hour day. And in that 12 hours or so, we were averaging $1,500 a day in alcohol. So it was... Suzanne's in. She's like, I don't get offended. You guys can do whatever you want. I like that. That's the spirit. Spread that around. We need that. It was some heavy duty sipping of the suds. And we were everywhere. Back then it was downtown Disney. We were up at or Disney Marketplace. It might have still been the Marketplace back then. But then we were up at City Walk, which of course both those are vastly different. We're going to do them both again. So the plan would be is we get there early on September 20th, which is a Friday. I think we land in Orlando at like 9:30 in the morning. And the plan is to literally just get out of there. We're all just bringing carry-ons because it's only 300. It's only 3 days. So, yeah, 1,500 back then. And then, it was Pierce. And I was like adamant. I said, nope. And I'll tell you how we got to this road. So, it hit the ground. We're going to drop our bags. We are staying at a Disney resort this time, though. So we are staying on the Skyliner because we're going to spend a day in Epcot. And it's during the Food and Wine Festival. We are going to make a reservation at Germany to go over there at the buffet. We are going to go to the Rose and Crown. And we're going to set up shop there for a good, healthy amount. I am sure... at least one, if not 2 or 3 of the guys will want to go and take a stroll around World Showcase to try different drinks and some different food. So there's 5 of us going. So that's going to be, so first day we're going to be at Disney Springs, which is the Friday. The Saturday, I think we will probably be at Universal Studios. So we'll go up. We're gonna hit City Walk for a while. We are going to go into Universal Studios proper. We're gonna go over and we will set up shop at Finnegan's, which is right across from the Mummy Ride, and we usually hang out there for several hours. 3-4 hours. We'll sit there, and we have a healthy rotation of me and a couple of the guys that are going to. We have a healthy rotation of drinking for a while, and then every 45 minutes to an hour, we bomb out the back door and we go and ride the Mummy once or twice, single rider line, and go back in and have some more drinks. If you have never, first of all, you need to do the Mummy. It's one of my favorite rides over there. But if you've never done the Mummy with a good glow, my God, you don't know what you're missing. And now they've updated the ride, so they've redone it. So we got to do. See, now the last time we were there, NBC wasn't there. There was still like the NASCAR Cafe was there. The NBA Cafe still existed. We'll hit the Hard Rock. We will slide over to Pat O'Brien's towards the end of the night and start drinking some of the fire water over there, and you'll hear us singing and getting around with all the folk there, making friends, and it's kind of a big party for us. We're if you can't tell by this medium platform here, if you've ever met me in person, you understand what my personality is. And when you get 4 out of the 5 of us have my personality or something similar, you can only imagine what kind of havoc we wreak once we get a little bit of the rocket fuel flowing. And then on Sunday we should be over at Epcot all day, so that's when we'll do the Around the World and the beer, the Germany buffet with the beer and all that stuff. And then Monday we come home, and Monday we're actually we're gonna have a good part of the day. We'll have until about 4 o'clock before we really get to head to the airport. So we'll probably be at Downtown Disney again. Speaking of of the boys' trip, one of them's texting me now. The old man of the group. He wants us to have a theme song we can sing and walk to Florida, and that's great. Pat O'Brien's banner now? What? All right, Pierce, I got you. It took me a second. Yeah. So we're going to have a good time. And I wasn't going to stream because, I was like, it's might be a little too rough, for some of maybe the younger viewers to handle if there's a lot of young people or whatever. And, I like to keep it family friendly here. But one of the guys said, oh yeah, aren't you going to stream whatever? I was like, nah. He's like, well, why not? I said, I don't know. He goes, oh, well, all right. And I was like, oh. I said, well, we'll see. So then we started talking, and it was just casual conversation. I said, I have a lot of people that follow me now. We're over 2,000 people in a few years, which for me is great because I'm not down in Florida. I don't have Disney and Universal and SeaWorld and all these other places behind me, Gatorland, Legoland. So it's really kind of it's a big lift to get people that are loyal to subscribe and follow you all the time, like a lot of you do. So screw the kids. Remind me to tell you a story about Pat O'Brien's too at the end of this. So I was telling him, I said, they said, well, do you make any money off the channel? I said, no. I said, I have a tip jar I leave out, and the tip jar's there. And they say, well, what's a tip jar? And I said, well, think about like if you were to go see somebody play live music somewhere, right? So I said, if they're doing a really good job, you might walk up and like the piano players at Pat O'Brien's, they have jars on the pianos, right? You go up there at the end of the night and you drop the guy $5 or $10 or whatever. Say, hey, thanks for the entertainment. I said very similar. I said, but people here, especially when I really get cranking, they like to show their appreciation. They'll hit the tip jar, and typically when they hit the tip jar, I will let them pick whatever drink it is we are drinking next. And they thought that was the wildest thing ever. And I'm like, yep. Yeah, I said it happens. Like, I don't look for it. I appreciate it all the time. It's never expected. I said, but you know what? It happens. I said, so, and they were like, well, you should put it up. I'm like, I don't know. Like, you think people are going to enjoy it? And they just all kind of looked at me and they were like, you know what? If they don't enjoy the comedic relief we provide over 3 days, then they have no soul. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll think about it. So you guys may be getting adult streams. And I don't even know how that would work. Because, initially before we really get deep into the day, we may bounce around from here to there. So I don't know. I got to try to feel the situation out. It'll probably be pop-up streams. We'll do 30 or 40 minutes here. We'll go to another spot, do 30 or 40 minutes there. So it's going to be a lot of like popcorning that week. How about drinking a WD-40? Well, I guess if it loosens up the soul, let's do it. Long Island's, ooh, I love a good Long Island. So yes, defend the wallet was born for moments like this. It really was. So my funny Pat O'Brien story is on that trip all those years ago. So we get over to Pat O'Brien's. It's getting to probably be about 10:30 at night. We have been there at Pat O'Brien's proper. We had been there probably about 3 hours at that point, and the hurricanes are silky smooth. And there was just a sea of glass on the table in front of us. So there's this little thing, and it started out as a joke when I was one of the assistant directors for the local marching band on one of the band trips we went on, one of the staff nights, because the staff used to get a night off. And then as I moved up and I didn't have to chaperone kids, that was a whole different vibe. But so one of the trips, the director, who's like best friend in the entire world, says, I can make anybody famous. And we sat around, we laughed. Oh, yeah, sure. He's like, no, really, I can. And we're like, what? He's like, listen. And now this is going back to when we didn't have the internet to our cell phones. The internet was just starting to really kind of get bitey and cranking. I mean, we're talking probably the early to mid 2000s, right? So the internet's still kind of in its infancy. Not everything's out there. He says, yeah, not a problem. Watch. So we pulled this little routine in the Magic Kingdom. So we go into the Magic Kingdom and he says, listen, he goes, you two, you take this blank CD, because at the time, like, digital music wasn't a thing. So I had the marching band music on a CD in my backpack. And he said, you take this pen and paper, and I want you both to come up to me when I give you the signal, and everybody else just stand back and watch and try not to laugh and, don't make it look obvious. He said, I want you to come up to me when I give you the signal and ask me for my autograph and hype me up. And my new, like, I'm a music artist, and my new album is going to be an album called Rise Up that just got released, and you'll love it. It's on the radio. So sure enough, we get down into not only the Magic Kingdom, we are to the, if you're looking at the castle from Main Street, we are to just the left, like we're heading towards the Hall of Presidents. And we're kind of on the outskirts of the hub over near the bridge. So he gives a signal, and these two, they're high school kids of ours. They're in the marching band, right? They come running over. Oh, Goldschlager, yes, please. they come running over to him and they go, oh my God, you're so-and-so from this band. We love your new album, Rise Up. And can we get your autograph? And one of them has a disposable camera, right? And they turn to me and they're like, can you take a picture of us with him? So we do. We go through the whole thing. This goes on for like maybe about 2 minutes. And all of a sudden, there are random people now starting to come up to him going, hey, can I get an autograph too? Hey, can I get my picture? And I was like, holy cow. So it went from our 2 high school kids that we knew, they were plants, and all of a sudden there was 2 people we didn't know. That turned into 5 people we didn't know. So then finally, it literally got to a point where I had to step in. I'm like, all right, we've got to go. He has other things to do. Thank you. And he's turned around, and now he's talking to everybody in the crowd, and he's going, thank you, folks. I appreciate your support. Please buy the album. We'll see y'all later. And we walk off. So we were in total amazement at that. So fast forward now this becomes like a funny thing that we do. And him and I do it well because we've done it so often. He will go and hype me up and you'll sell it as like oh, him, he was like in this movie, and I won't even tell you what the movie is because you got to save some sort of stuff for a surprise, right? So you'll hear what the movie is. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. And it's amazing how many people just won't even look up information. They just take it verbatim. And he will get people into a frenzy where there are just people going, yeah, hey man, how you doing? And they're taking pictures with me and stuff. So now we pull this at the Pat O'Brien's. And at about, 10:30, we're into the bit. And he's like, I'm kind of at the end of the group, at the end of the table. And he's out, talking to everybody in the place, doing what he does. And he goes, and I see him do like one of these. So now I play it off. I'm like, all right. I pull my hat down. I get up and I walk over. He says, hey, I want you to meet these nice 2 lovely ladies. They're from Minnesota. They're here with their husband. I said, oh yeah, hey folks, how you doing? Nice to meet y'all. He says, they would like to get a picture with you. So okay, sure. So I take a picture with him. So now, as I'm taking a picture and talking to these people who I do not know at all, he goes over and he takes the long way around to go back to our table. So on the way back, another older couple stops and says, hey, who's that? So he goes through it again. So he does like one of these. And I'm like, all right. So now I get up. Now I go to a second couple. So now I get to that second couple. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're from Houston, Texas. And this is a great honor and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, holy cow. I said, oh, okay. So now I get them done. I go back to my seat and I get a tap on my shoulder. It's this nice gentleman from England. He owned a pub it was like a pub in the bottom of like this hotel that he owned. It was like a 3-floor hotel, had a bunch of hotel rooms. We get to talking. He's like, man, I'd love to have you come over. Maybe you could do something, right? And blah, blah. I'm like, what? He goes, yep, the whole trip. He goes, if you can get yourself there, he goes, I'll feed you all week. He said, I'll pay you. I'm like, oh boy. Now him and his wife take a picture with me, and all of a sudden this starts to snowball. And before I know it, we're in doing this, and I am popcorning across Pat O'Brien's at Universal Studios, taking pictures and signing autographs for people. And I still have the pictures to this day on my camera reel, and Stephanie will attest to it. So the next time if you ever see her or you run into her in the chat, you can ask her. She will 100% verify the story. I have a dozen or so pictures, maybe a few more, of people on my camera roll who I have no clue who these people are. They were all super nice. It was a lot of fun to kind of do. All super, super nice people. It was an offer I cannot refuse. That is 100% correct. I couldn't refuse, right? So it was at the end of that, I finally decided, like, I need to make my way to my seat because this has been going on for like 30 minutes. I'm trying to like squeeze by people. The 2 guys playing the piano, they're looking at me like, who the hell is this guy? So I get back to my seat finally, and as I go to sit down, I cannot even make this up. I look up, and there is Stephanie's aunt and uncle, who at the time lived up in Lake Mary. They still live in Florida, just not in Lake Mary anymore. And her uncle just went, and that's all he did. And I was like, I sat down and I was like, oh bleep. So now the table's like, what's the matter? What's the matter? I said, that is Stephanie's aunt and uncle over there. And they're like, oh. I said, yeah, the uncle that's like her father. And they went, uh-oh. I was like, I'll be back. So now here I am after going around the whole room. I missed them when they came in. And now I was 3 sheets to the wind. I'm like, hey, how's everybody going? How's everything going? What's everybody doing? And he was just like, what in the hell are you doing? So I had to explain to him what was going on. He just sat there laughing, shaking his head. It was fun. It's a bunch of fun, but it's really incredible. Even with technology, how like people like they don't. They try to verify after the fact, and then of course they're like, no, what's his name again? I can't, but you may see some of that. that may very well happen once or twice. So if you catch that on stream, that could very well happen, especially when we're at City Walk. For whatever reason, it happens a lot at City Walk, like something incredible. But I'm going to try to take everybody up to the top of the world. So we'll go up top of Bay Lake Tower to the Villain's Lair and try to get into the bar up there, maybe watch the fireworks one night. So we got a couple of cool places we're going to go. We may head over to the Riviera, but we're staying at Pop Century that weekend because of the Skyliner. It just makes things easier to get around. So maybe going over to Hollywood Studios. I don't know if that's going to happen. But, yeah, definitely Lambos. It was that bold actor in you. Oh, we were acting all right, man. Whoo, boy. We were acting. Yeah, maybe some. I wouldn't mind getting a Lambo or two, bringing down my refillable mug and getting me a discount. For sure. So... that is, so September will be a wild time. And then, of course, we got the race in January. But I will say that, so January is going to be interesting for us. So over on the Fat Turtle Racing channel, which, if you have not seen already, there it is. That's what we put on the Fat Turtle Racing channel at the bottom, is this ticker I just put up here. You can always race with us. You can go on over there, and hopefully you will enjoy that content. But the weekend of the half marathon, that's going to be interesting, because I am going to try and stream that whole the whole thing. I think so. The problem becomes is I'm gonna have my hydration pack with me, which may or may not be full, but that thing, I think we figured it out today. That thing weighs about 4 pounds when it's full of water. I have to have some sort of battery pack with me. I got to figure out how my phone fits into the vest maybe a little bit better, so I can kind of be a little hands-free. And that stream, I'll be honest with you guys, that stream of the race is going to start super duper early. Because the race itself, I think we got to be there. We have to be there and checked in by 5. And they're recommending that, like, we're up and out the door and basically on our way there at, like, 3:30 in the morning. So it's going to be super early, but hopefully I'll get to stream the whole thing all the way to the finish. And then we are going to definitely take that day off after running 13 miles. There will be no parkness that night. We were talking about seeing if we had enough leg under us after it was over to maybe go and try to get a meal somewhere. So we're going to start looking at some options. We will, however, the following day be going to a park. I believe that park's going to be Hollywood Studios. I think that's what we had talked about, was going to Hollywood Studios. So that'll be great. So hopefully you guys will join us that weekend. Just know that those streams are going to be, especially the race day streams, are going to be really wacky times and wacky lengths. So yes, Suzanne, that is exactly what we are doing. We went for a walk today, trying to get my back, kind of a little test, seeing how it holds up. It's feeling pretty good. It's not really hurting. But we filled it right up. I filled that bladder up, the whole 1.5 liters, and I strapped it to my back, and here we go, you know. So, will you be in a scooter? I probably, no, we will not be in a scooter, but I may regret life's decisions if I'm not the next day. Will you be in a scooter? So that's the plan for the next couple of Disney trips. There'll be a lot of Tiki Time built in, hopefully between then and now, or now and then. Better not hit any Pierce's back. It'd be like, did you guys catch that? Me and Dallas joke about it all the time. Drunk Grandma. When we were over in, I got it on film. It's on one of my Epcot streams when we were there. The little old lady, she drove backwards through the line at Canada. She got like halfway through, and then she couldn't, I don't know, find who she was looking for or whatever. So she just turned tail and literally tried to drive out, like knocking stuff over, and that was quite a experience. Dehydration will have beer, don't lie. Although I don't know if I can sneak beer in. Well, I probably could. I thought about trying to get a celebratory beer in there. I'll be quite honest with you. They do it during the Wine and Dine. If you go to the Wine and Dine marathon weekend, you can stop and get a drink by the end because the parks are all open. Really, Suzanne? I had no idea. They started out in fanny packs, huh? That's kind of the one, if y'all watch the Fat Turtle Racing channel, we were talking about different hydration systems today, and Lindsay, co-host Lindsay, she uses essentially a waist pack that has a couple of squeeze bottles, like a couple of 11-ounce squeeze bottles that go in there. It's like an 11-ounce pouch, so it really helps prevent sloshing. There's a couple of tricks you can do too with the hydration vests, which I'll talk about on the next Fat Turtle stream. Wow, that's really neat. I had no idea. For like those races when it was like, oh God, what's the one through Death Valley there? The one down in the desert, the Baja? Stuff like that. Like you get out in the middle of the desert or whatever and you got nothing to drink, and that's actually a really smart idea. Wow. Oh yeah, Baja 1000. Yep. I don't know how they do it, man. That stuff's like 120 degrees and they're out there racing through the desert. It's not like those things have air conditioning. You know, if you look at those Baja buggies, they're all like open. I don't know how they do it. It's got to be hot. And then I guess you can bring your own water with you, right? So you don't dehydrate, because 120 and no AC is 120. But how do you keep that fluid cool? You'd be drinking like 90-degree water. Got to be some sort of like ice or something, or maybe battery-powered cooler or something that's like mounted in there, so those guys can have some cold drinks. Oh, I didn't realize that was in November. I wonder, is it still as hot though? Is it like, 1,000 degrees in the desert in November? Maybe not quite as hot. Like instead of 120, it only gets up to like 90. Cheers, y'all. Little Sam Summer pool party here. So, but those are the updates. Hey, Sam Lowe. What is happening? I was ninja watching your streams. I like it. I ninja watch a lot of streams lately because I've been busy at work, so I see people hop on and off, and I've ninja watched you. I've ninja watched Seven a whole bunch. Seven's been on a couple of nights from, I think it was an anime convention recently. Yeah, man, I tell you what, it's hot. Hot. And I can only imagine it's super hot where you are. I know it's swampy up here. I did my walk today, and then I came home and I took my shower, and now I'm just sweating again. Yeah, she's been out in L.A. Yep. That's not like the big Comic-Con ones down in San Diego. I mean, unless they moved it to L.A. But usually Comic-Con San Diego is at the big convention center down there. But the one I think she's at an anime convention there, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, yeah. Well, we're getting down to the end. We're getting down to the end. Ah, cheers. Yep. Well, and since we only got about a mouthful left, I think I'll wrap it up here. Wow, it's been like an hour and 10 minutes. That's great. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Thanks for hanging out and doing the 4th of July wind down here from the Tiki Bar. Comic-Con still in San Diego. Hell yeah. Love San Diego. Love Comic-Con. Yeah, so that's about the updates. We're going to try to do some more Tiki Time. Maybe we'll get one in maybe next week as kind of like a post-race update, because so next weekend with the Fat Turtle race team, we are running on the 14th, which is a week from today, early in the morning. Stream's going to start like 7:30 a.m. because it's an 8 o'clock. It is an 8 o'clock start time for the race. We're going to run the Greenvale Winery or Greenvale Vineyards 5K. So it's a timed event. We'll be there. Hopefully y'all will come over to the Fat Turtle Racing channel. Support us. We're going to reveal our new merchandise that day, that morning. So if you want to see our new merchandise that we're coming out with, you can come and check us out that day. So hopefully you'll like it. And then we're going to start having different things available because we're going to put the logo on some specialty items for us. Like Lindsay wants a certain type of hat with the logo on it and stuff. So we're going to have it available. We will have an online store coming very shortly. So if you want to support the Fat Turtle Race Team, you can go over there and get some merchandise. Hopefully you'll like it. But big reveal for the Fat Turtle Race Team next weekend. Hopefully you all watch us race. I will be live streaming the whole thing. You'll be in my pocket from my hydration vest. So hopefully you'll have a good view of what we're doing. But for right now, thank you all for joining me. Cheers. From the Tiki Bar. Hopefully you've enjoyed the stream. I appreciate you all being here. Make sure you hit the like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe. We're going to be going on quite a few Disney adventures coming up over like the next just about 6 months here. Got one coming up in August, got one coming up in September. So hopefully we will see you all there. But for right now, everybody, have a great night. Happy 4th of July. I hope your weekend was as good as mine. And we'll see you all here in this coming week. Make sure you head on over to our race team channel, Fat Turtle Racing, and you subscribe there and turn on those notifications so you can come hang out with us live as we race next week. And we will see you all real soon. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.